We are on to the semifinals of the Fear Fest finale, the North American portion. We are going to have AJ versus Daniel, Chronic versus First Killer, waiting on the other side. Chat, here we go. It's a best of 5 between AJ and Daniel. The semifinal of the Fear Fest finale on this North American portion of the tournament. $750 and a chance at winning the grand prize. I say $750, but finishing tied for second gives you $1,500. The reason why I say only $750 is because even if they do lose this match, they do walk away with $750. But they want more, I'm sure. AJ and Daniel have quite the back and forth in 1v1 recently. AJ, of course, dominating the 1v1 scene long before Daniel was even relevant in the 1v1 scene. But Daniel did to AJ what he did to many 1v1ers in his path to the top. So he took them down and dominated over them for at least a very short period. But that period is over. Other players have shown that Daniel has spaces in the armor to be hit, as AJ getting a win over Daniel at least a couple different times in recent memory. Will he be able to get it today? Maybe one of the biggest prize pool games the two of them have played against each other. Daniel rocking the Fennec, the endpoint Fennec. AJ's been in the Fennec as well. I think maybe the Mina Fennec. It's hard to know exactly what the purple Mina Fennec looks like. It is a best of 5. I can't remember if I said that already or not. Only best of 7 will be the grand final, which will be either Daniel or AJ versus First Killer or Chronic. Kind of a classic matchup in both these semifinals, because I feel like First Killer and Chronic is a matchup that happened in Salt Mine 1, right? In the grand finals of Salt Mine 1. And since then, they've had a few different bouts against each other. AJ reset near the ceiling. The war between Daniel and AJ is guaranteed to be a good one. And a lot of air dribbles are certainly going to be made. AJ actually ends up taking this one so low that Daniel can't make the save. Prevents it from going underneath him despite starting at ceiling height. Is it true that Daniel is going to endpoint? Listen, all I'll say is Daniel has the endpoint decal. Oh my goodness, what a save. Daniel's going to get credited with it. I wonder if that bounce was in or not. I think it was. I think it was crossbar and in. Daniel keeps it out though. And then gets a demo to guarantee his second goal. We've actually been seeing him searching for demos a lot. We got to watch him against Zapatos to start off today. And you could see him set up his line very frequently to intercept with the other player. Zapatos did a decent job of avoiding them, but the problem is even when you do avoid the demos, it frequently takes you out of your rhythm defensively, and Daniel can still find a way to get a goal off of it. AJ wall dashing like crazy here with 0 boost on the back wall. And now he's just going to hover behind the ball. Knows not to send it over to Daniel until he's sure he can clear it all the way to the orange half. Can AJ score this continuation? He can. Daniel cannot get back. And it's a 4-2 lead for AJ. Daniel wall to air dribble, just never protected the ball. Didn't think he needed to. So he was expecting AJ to be a bit more passive defensively, but when AJ turns on the ball, he takes advantage of the fact Daniel is not prepared for a challenge. AJ 5-2. Daniel thought for sure he's going to be able to come away with a better possession after approaching that ball on the wall, but AJ sends it directly up into the air. And then honestly, I'm curious why Daniel felt that he could sit around and wait for the ball to come back down, because of course he's got to know AJ's going to get some kind of shot. That ball went so high. Daniel bumps AJ, which I thought was going to be enough to stop him from scoring, but once again, Daniel just hovering around where the ball is headed with no seemingly plan. I mean, do you think AJ's just going to leave? It's really the only explanation for what Daniel's doing there. Turns around, power slides away from the ball, and seems like he's expecting it to come all the way to the ground without being affected by anybody. Of course, AJ has been playing aggressive. He's going to be there to take a shot. 6-2. AJ patiently waiting for Daniel to actually come approach him, but he never does. And he pops an air dribble up for Daniel, who does a good job to keep it away from AJ, but also away from the net. It's just a couple pixels off from bouncing in. AJ, look at this pop. Such an interesting bounce dribble. It's a different take on a bounce dribble. Just bounce the ball on your own car and eventually pop it over the defender. Daniel could not react to it. And it's a 7-2 lead for AJ. Half flip kickoff for AJ. Daniel does not get his first touch on net, so AJ can just let it bounce off the back wall. He'll take a wall to air dribble, using the bounce off the ceiling to get the reset. He's right back in control. This shot sent into the corner. Daniel should score off of it as well. Anytime that you can get as clean of a save as Daniel just did, it should be a goal. And despite how tough it was for AJ to get that eventual shot after getting underneath the ball, it's all worth nothing when Daniel gets a rare goal from it. Daniel hasn't been able to find any offense. AJ handed him some. Daniel sees the approaching challenge and tries to drop the ball for a low 50. But AJ, too speedy. Camera check from Daniel to see what he's dealing with. Pass to himself off the back wall. AJ's prepared for it. And will air dribble it into the corner. These crazy wall dashes. AJ has been one of the first to really integrate the wall dashes into his game. Daniel, bounce dribble setup. Really felt like he could shoot it because he set it up so strong. He was just trying to catch up to it the whole time. By the time he did, the angle had disappeared. Demo by AJ in the corner. Up to the midfield to grab boost. 45 seconds in a 4-goal lead. AJ is in absolutely no rush to take the shot. So he'll once again slowly bounce the ball. Threaten the bump and instead get it on the follow-up. Can the backflip turn into a goal? No, not without any boost to follow it. And so Daniel puts himself within 3. "30 seconds to work with. Will we see any sort of cheeky kickoff from Daniel? AJ back to his back wall. Finding with Daniel for a pinch to midfield. Daniel needs this to go in, and it does. Flicks it over the shadowing AJ. 15 seconds to work with on these next 2 kickoffs. Anything cheeky from either player. AJ just goes standard kickoff, and I think he lost it directly into his net. As long as Daniel didn't miss, and he didn't. He rolls it off the bottom corner and is now within 1. He got that one with time to spare. A few additional seconds for the final goal he needs to get. Both go standard kickoff. AJ slightly wins it, but Daniel wins the race to the midfield boost. AJ playing aggressive. Daniel has a chance to keep this up in the air. AJ recovering late. He so throws it. This is Rocket League before it even happens. Air dribble bump. AJ keeps it out. And he does win the game. Daniel throws the GG and the OK for the AJ This is Rocket League in the final moments. AJ took an early lead and held on to it to win game 1. Game number 2 going to start with a half flip kickoff from AJ. Daniel hands him the ball. And he pick up where he left off. And gain an early lead. Air dribble bump attempt is successful. AJ's chat is one of the ones that cringes the most at the air dribble bumps. But I gotta say, of anybody in the 1v1 game right now, I think AJ does use the air dribble bump the most. Actually, Yan, who we haven't seen play much recently, is probably number 1. Yan is really good with the air dribble bumps. Daniel, I feel like almost faking one there. Deciding to pop the ball instead of going to bump and maybe expecting AJ to try and avoid something, but instead, AJ just cleans up the save and able to get a second goal. Definitely Jack. Yeah, Jack likes his air dribble bumps as well. Daniel, a big kickoff win. First touch reset. Classic Daniel setup. He's going to bang the ball in past AJ. AJ prepared for this one, but it doesn't matter. Not when it comes flying in at that speed. Daniel, another first possession, forced to try and collect the ball and just cut it into the corner as a way to keep AJ from touching it, but he couldn't win the race to the corner boost. So it is AJ doing kind of a similar thing right now as he undercuts Daniel. Has a setup off the ceiling. He's got a late recovering Daniel he knows doesn't have a ton of boost. He's able to starve him even further. Daniel actually making a trip to midfield for a second. So where did he go to go get boost? He's got quite a bit. AJ takes the corner again. And both these two immediately racing to the opposite corner as soon as AJ gets that first touch. Finch sent to the back wall. Both players going to be able to reset. AJ slamming this back to the midfield. What is his plan for this eventual shot? He's not able to come up with anything. And Daniel gets to his favorite spot. Wall to air dribble. Reset double. No. It's crossbar and out instead of in. Daniel normally so automatic with those. AJ passed to himself. Daniel cannot pre-jump to save it. Daniel tried to put himself in the spot he thought the shot was going to, but ends up falling a bit too far in net. I'm not sure that he could have made the save from that position at all, because it seemed like he was in the right spot, but maybe just too deep into net to make contact with the ball. So it's a 3-2 lead for AJ. He has controlled the entire series so far. Dives around Daniel on the back wall and then demos him off the map. This will be free no matter where Daniel spawns. I wonder if AJ, or if Daniel was thinking about demoing AJ, because we've seen him set up that angle so many times as a way to prep on the demo, but instead of AJ thinking about retreating or thinking about the ball, he thought demo himself and turned in maybe earlier than Dan was expecting, but delay kickoff gets red immediately. Give Daniel a second goal. AJ forced into net. Daniel, soft shot, was not able to steal that corner boost, so AJ's going to have 100. These two swapping sides of the ball. Daniel, a chance for a long shot in the full field. Does not catch AJ out of position. AJ does make it back, but the continuation is Daniel's. AJ with 0 boost. Maybe he was thinking about coming in and out of the net. Decides to come back down to the ground, and Daniel slots it right inside the top right corner. Yet another kickoff win, but Daniel passing up the wall to air dribble this time around. Instead, gets around the ball, cuts it to the ground. Stole the corner boost and might have a chance at a goal. AJ able to get a strong clear. Only going to buy him a bit of time, though, as Daniel attacks right back at him. He looks to go high. The double isn't there. And now he's going to be lucky if AJ doesn't get a goal. Those doubles are so risky. You have to be perfect with them. If you're going to look to punish a low boost defender in that way, cannot afford to miss over the top of the net like Daniel just did. Daniel roll up the sidewall. Sorry, AJ roll up the sidewall. Reset around center field and uses it just outside the box. And Daniel, who is right in the right position, doesn't matter. Can't get the save. 102 km/h finish. Daniel maybe put a little bit of extra heat on it, but he has to try and react earlier. He waited until after AJ took a shot to get up in the air and results in an AJ 6th goal. Daniel giving a bit of a freebie here as he tries to collect the ball on the side wall. AJ looks to make a overly aggressive attempt on the play. AJ passing up what is a pretty smooth setup for an air dribble. Instead, he's going to play it off the bounce. Reset so slow. Daniel doesn't panic for a moment, I'm sure, as he just waits for the ball to come to the goal. Can't connect on his bump attempt. So AJ forced into the air early by the Daniel fake challenge. And Daniel putting so much power on the save off the back wall. Certainly as an attempt to set up his counterattack, and it doesn't matter. AJ makes it back. Daniel can't bump him. AJ staying on ball despite working off only the pads he picks up in the process. He's able to steal the midfield boost. That bump is going to throw Daniel off his game. And with 30 seconds left to go, AJ might not even bring this ball to Daniel. Daniel is forced to come. He actually clips it. The dive challenge from Daniel, I thought, was going to result in a flick going over the top of him. Daniel knew it was too, but I just didn't think there's anything he could do about it. He does manage to just barely get a touch, which made it possible for him to tie this game. But that being said, AJ has still been a pest and prevented him from ever taking a shot. Daniel rockets one off the crossbar, and it'll be game number 2 win for AJ as well, as he looks to close out the semifinals against Daniel. (2-0) lead for AJ in the series. Daniel sticking to his endpoint Fennec. If there's ever a time you see a player change a car, it usually is after losing 2 straight games in a best of 5, because now they need to do something in order to change up the way the series has been going. And unlike the first Killer Cosmic series that was a sweep, this one has felt more heavily controlled by AJ. The first Killer did win every game in that previous series. Cosmic felt like he could have taken any one of them. It hasn't been that way for Daniel, who has been at the mercy of AJ for 10 straight minutes so far. He will take a lead after getting this one in off the post. Will Daniel continue to pass up these wall air drill opportunities? Looks like he will. He's going to play him off the ground instead. Finally connects on these bumps. He's been trying these bumps so many different times. Bumps and demos in order to secure goals. Defenders have been able to escape, but now it's going to be a couple times in a row that Daniel connects. Daniel, another opportunity where he could have rolled that ball to the sidewall, picked up the 100, and gone for a dribble. And I can't stress enough, the reason why I'm talking about this is because that's what Daniel used to always do. Daniel's normal 1v1 game is every single time to take to that wall to air dribble and use it as his primary weapon. But he has recognized that things need to change here in this series against AJ. One of the ways he's looked for the answer is deciding to no longer attack through the air. He is playing a very patient, grounded 1v1 game right now. And as a result, a minute and 30 into this game number 3 with AJ. He's up 2-0. A flick, make it 3-0. A new type of Daniel has arrived late in this series against AJ. So far, it's been the answer. AJ into his back corner. He hasn't had much possession time in this game so far. His air dribble is going to get stopped by Daniel. He's able to evade the bump as well. You have to imagine Daniel's going to let this one come down unless he thinks he can surprise AJ, who creeps too far out to the midfield. Daniel, interesting 50. Jumping and intentionally turning his wheels towards the ball so that AJ slams it into position on his car that is a bit better at stopping it in its tracks. That being said, AJ is still able to get a demo on the continued play and gets his first on the board just before halftime. Daniel once again taking the ground play in this 1v1. Trying to bump AJ. Connects, but is it enough to get a goal? No, in fact, he gets a bit greedy, thinking that that bump was going to give him more than it did. AJ able to sit on top of the ball in order to win the bounce out to the midfield, where he is first to arrive for a long shot. Second goal. Daniel back to his corner. Will AJ meet him in this grounded game, or will he continue to do his usual aerial attack? He gets stomped on by Dan. He tried to throw him out of the play. Daniel with enough momentum, I guess, falling from the skies to be a bit of a rock in place. Dan taken off the map. Can he respawn and make the save? He can. No boost spawn for him. Long shot most likely, since he doesn't have any boost to work with. And once again, he's chasing AJ down, ultimately deciding he doesn't have the boost to make that play, so he's back out to the midfield. AJ avoids the demo attempt again and ties the game 3-3. Daniel, I believe, took a 3-0 lead, right? But AJ 3 straight. It's taken him about as long as it took Daniel to get his. Been a bit of a slow game between the two, but a minute 30 left to decide the difference. Daniel, another booming long shot when he feels AJ is going to make a play on the ball. He's hoping to catch him, not recovering, and shoot it all the way past him, but hasn't been there the past few attempts. AJ reset, just pushes him down to the ground, and that is kind of the way AJ has played ones a lot in the past. Going to his air dribbles, going to his resets, and even at times when he maybe should be playing a bit safer. And Daniel getting a crucial lead late in this game number 3. Kickoff win, quick camera check from Daniel to see if AJ is going to try and meet him at the midfield, which he is. That turns out to be a mistake. Daniel wins the race to the boost. AJ can't get a touch on the ball. 37 seconds. AJ fought his way back after an early deficit. Can he clutch it up in the final moments as well? Popping into an air dribble. Connects with Dan, and it should be a fourth. Daniel actually almost landed on the back wall and made it back down. I want to see how close he got. Normally Daniel's so good at avoiding the air dribble bumps. Actually might have helped force it in. AJ fake kickoff. Daniel trying to just score immediately, and he did not. So now it's going to be AJ with a huge boost advantage on the trip back to the orange half. Daniel does go all the way to the corner. AJ reset near the ceiling, and he ties the game. Daniel might have made it back, but he makes it back so late that he can't react to this play in time. AJ sends it screaming in at 103 kilometers per hour over the top of the recovering endpoint Fennec. Huge kickoff here. Goes in Daniel's favor. He cuts underneath the ball to be able to get the flick. AJ forces the first save. Daniel goes low. He knows that AJ is forced in the air, and he's actually going to waste a few crucial seconds in the process of getting the next goal. Those seconds might be relevant here as we see how AJ attempts to tie the game in the final moments. Will he go delay kickoff? Seems like he will. Chips the ball to the side wall. AJ catches it. Daniel went flying past it early. He didn't get a touch on it. AJ ties the game. Daniel makes his final attempt right here, and he gets nothing on the ball. And there's no way he's going to recover in time. He actually does touch it, but only to send it into the corner even faster than it was before. A half flip kickoff for Daniel in this overtime. AJ can't really control and get the read in time. This is probably still favorable to Daniel. AJ's actually doing a great job, though. He sends this back to the blue half. Daniel on the ceiling, making AJ take a sweet time. He's going to take it to the other side wall. Will he pass up on an air dribble in the final moments? He will not. Where's Daniel? Daniel throws the GGs. I'm trying to understand what this challenge was. Since he left the park, oh, he came off the ceiling. I mean, he made it very easy on AJ in the final moments. AJ clutching up to force overtime and given an easy chance at an open net to win the series.